Counter-Strike 2, also known as CS2, is a massively popular team-based first-person shooter that came out in 2013. Counter-Strike 2 is the latest evolution of one of the most influential competitive shooters in gaming history, built on decades of legacy while introducing modern technology and refinements. Designed around pure skill, teamwork, and strategic depth, CS2 rewards precision, game sense, and coordination rather than shortcuts or artificial progression. With an upgraded engine, refreshed visuals, and subtle gameplay changes, the game marks a new chapter for both longtime players and newcomers.
Yes, sir.
More than just an update, Counter-Strike 2 represents the continuation of a competitive standard that has defined esports and tactical shooters for over 20 years. Counter-Strike 2 is one of the biggest multiplayer games in the world, as the game ranges from around 1.2 to 1.4 million players daily, hitting an all-time high of 18 million concurrent players. Over the years, Counter-Strike has evolved from a Half-Life mod to Counter-Strike 1.6, Counter-Strike Source, Counter-Strike Global Offensive, and finally, Counter-Strike 2. Counter-Strike's legacy originates in 1999 as a mod of the popular game Half-Life. This game eventually became known as Counter-Strike 1.6 and gained massive popularity. The release of Counter-Strike Source somewhat split the community, and therefore the developers at Valve, the creators of both Half-Life and Counter-Strike Global Offensive, created Counter-Strike Global Offensive to bring all players together into one game. Counter-Strike Global Offensive was released in 2012. CSGO continues to receive updates over the 11 years that it has been out, but the developers at Valve decided that a new game would replace Counter-Strike Global Offensive.
And now, the next chapter in the CS story is about to begin. This is Counter-Strike 2.
In 2013, they released Counter-Strike 2, a game which directly replaced Counter-Strike Global Offensive, rendering CSGO unplayable. This move was a bit controversial with the community. However, as players quickly adapted and CS2 quickly gained the largest following that Counter-Strike has ever had in terms of player numbers.
What is CS2?
Counter-Strike is a 5v5 competitive shooter where two teams of 5 players are matched up against each other, and the first of 13 wins the game. On one side we have the terrorist side, whose main goal is to plant a bomb.
On my way to plant.
The other side is the counter-terrorist, hence the name Counter-Strike, that has to stop the terrorists at all costs. Because Counter-Strike 2 is a team-based game, teamwork is essential in winning games, and good teammates can help you win games easily, while bad teammates or bad teamwork can result in easy losses.
Green, what's your problem, Green? What is your problem? Missile alone ramp, missile alone ramp.
When you enter a game, you will either be a terrorist or a counter-terrorist.
This is our fight.
There will be a grace period at the beginning where you can buy weapons, armor, and grenades. We can see the list of weapons that you are able to buy at the beginning of the round in Counter-Strike 2. The goal of the terrorist side is to reach one of the 2 bomb sites, either bomb site A or bomb site B, to plant the bomb. Here's an example of a terrorist planting the bomb in Counter-Strike 2. As you can see, the bomb is one of the gadgets that only terrorists have access to. Terrorists need to reach one of the previously mentioned bomb sites and fight their way onto the site to plant the bomb. When terrorists enter the site, terrorists must be cautious not to be killed by counter-terrorists who will try to stop the group of 5 terrorists from entering the bomb site. Strategy and coordination are important for taking one of these bomb sites from the counter-terrorist side. 40 seconds after the bomb is planted, the bomb will explode, allowing terrorists to win the round. When the bomb explodes, any nearby players will be affected by damage, and those who are close enough will die. If the terrorists have successfully taken a bomb site and planted the bomb, the counter-terrorists must retake the site and defuse the bomb. Defusing the bomb takes 5 to 10 seconds, depending on whether or not the counter-terrorists have bought a defuse kit. Therefore, in order to stop the counter-terrorists from retaking the site, terrorists must strategically defend the bomb site after it has been planted. Terrorists can successfully win the round by defending the site long enough for the bomb to explode. Both sides can win the round by successfully killing all 5 opponents. This means that if you're the last teammate standing and you are killed by the enemy team, the round will end in a loss. Therefore, it is essential to value your life, as you only have one chance per round. In order to win a game of Counter-Strike 2, teams must win a best of 13 game. Furthermore, if the score is tied 12 to 12, the game will go into overtime, with teams needing to win a best of 4 rounds after. Each round is very important, as winning allows the teams to build their economy. Losses reward less money than wins. Depending on the situation, each team is rewarded a specific amount of money. For example, if the counter-terrorists win by defusing the bomb, they are rewarded $3,500, while losing the round only rewards $1,400. Furthermore, individual performances award extra money. For example, kills that grant the individual an extra $300, while planting the bomb grants the entire team $300. Additionally, depending on the weapon used to kill the enemy, different amounts of money are rewarded. For example, getting a knife kill, which is usually difficult, awards the player $1,500.
Getting started with Counter-Strike 2.
In order to play Counter-Strike 2, you must use the application known as Steam to download the game. You can find Steam on Google with the install link listed here. After installing Steam, you will be brought to the application where you can navigate the store and look up Counter-Strike 2. Afterwards, you can add Counter-Strike 2 to your game library, where it can be downloaded by clicking the install button. Because Counter-Strike 2 is a video game, certain PC requirements are needed to run the game. This includes the ability to render computer graphics. Here are some of the requirements recommended by Valve, the developers of CS2, in order to run the game.
Game mode in Counter-Strike 2.
Counter-Strike 2 has a variety of game modes that you can play within the game. For competitive players, the main game mode is called Premier. In Premier, you receive a rating from about 1,000 to 30,000, depending on your performance in games. There is also a competitive mode, which gives you a rank depending on your performance for each individual map. This differs from Premier, which gives you a rating across all maps. Another competitive mode is Wingman, which is a 2v2 mode played on smaller versions of maps. Other game modes include Casual, which is a 10v10 mode with loose rules. In Casual mode, players receive roughly the same amount regardless of winning or losing. These matches are usually chaotic, as most maps are designed for 5v5 gameplay. There is also the Deathmatch mode, where players instantly respawn and there are no rounds. Players win by getting the most kills at the end of a timer. This mode is usually used for aim practice or warming up. The final 2 modes are Arms Race and Retakes. Arms Race awards a player a new weapon every time they get a kill. Players must reach enough kills to receive a golden knife, which they can use to win the game by getting a final kill. Retakes is the newest game mode introduced by Counter-Strike 2. In Retakes, the round starts with the bomb already planted, and terrorists must defend the site from counter-terrorists. There are also third-party platforms run by the Counter-Strike 2 community. The most famous of these is Faceit. Many experienced and professional players use Faceit instead of Premier ranking system. This is because Faceit has a stronger anti-cheat system, meaning fewer cheaters as well as a more reliable ranking system. When playing Premier, players receive an individual rating after winning 10 placement matches. Players must work hard to improve their rank in CS2. Generally, the more experience you have, the better you become, and the higher ranking you receive. The ranking system can be very rewarding as players can track their progress over time, unless you suck. Most competitive players either use the built-in Premier rating or Faceit to test their skill level.
Counter-Strike to basic mechanics.
While the game may be simple, there are many core mechanics that players must master in order to gain a competitive edge. failing to learn these mechanics will result in fewer wins and a lower rating. One of the most important mechanics of Counter-Strike is known as crosshair placement. This means where you place your crosshair. Your crosshair shows exactly where you are aiming and where bullets will be registered when you fire your gun. Knowing where to place your crosshair is essential in getting kills. For example, if you aim where you expect the enemy to be by looking at spots that are commonly held by players, you will have an easier time getting kills. Additionally, headshots will commonly instantly kill players, so aiming at head level is essential. Another mechanic of Counter-Strike 2 is gun recoil. Each weapon in Counter-Strike 2 has a unique recoil pattern, meaning that when a gun is fired non-stop, it will go upwards in a specific direction. Learning how to control this recoil is another essential mechanic of Counter-Strike 2. Practicing recoil control will help players effectively spray their gun when encountering enemy players. There is also a mechanic called counter-strafing in CS2. When using WASD on your keyboard to move, by pressing A and D you move either right or left. This is known as strafing in Counter-Strike. When moving in Counter-Strike, the accuracy of your weapons significantly decreases, and therefore standing still or crouching while shooting is important. However, this makes you an easy target for the enemy, as you are not moving. Therefore, learning how to quickly stop before shooting is important. Counter-strafing is known as quickly hitting the opposite key of A and D before shooting. For example, when moving left, while pressing A, quickly tap D to instantly stop before shooting. This greatly increases the accuracy of your weapon before taking a shot. One of the last core mechanics of Counter-Strike 2 is learning how to move efficiently throughout each map. Movement can be optimized in a way where you reach advantageous positions against the enemy quickly. Here's an example of a pro player utilizing movement to outflank the enemy and get easy kills.
What are we doing at?
I don't know, I'm
He's
rushing
right.
mid.
He's right.
Okay, nice brother. I fake yard for you.
Thank you.
Flashing in the smoke.
One is under the
One dead yard. Oh, AVP dead yard. Take clear thing, take clear thing.
CS2 also utilizes a variety of grenades. Players from both sides can buy different types of grenades for different situations. This is known as buying utility. In order to successfully take advantage or defend sites, players must use how to efficiently use utility to their advantage. There are 5 main types of utility in Counter-Strike 2. The first and most important type of utility is called the smoke grenade. Smoke grenades block a line of sight and allow players to move without being seen by the enemy. By throwing smoke grenades in specific areas or choke points, players can block the enemy watching a specific position. The second grenade is known as the Molotov. When thrown, it creates fire on the area hit by the grenade. This can be used to block off or clear positions as the fire does damage and can quickly kill an enemy player. The third grenade players have access to is known as the nade. When thrown, the grenade will explode shortly, dealing damage to all nearby players. Players also have access to the flashbang grenade. When thrown, the flashbang will explode shortly after, blinding all players staring directly at it. This can be used to blind an enemy before a player moves in for the kill. The final grenade is known as the decoy grenade. This grenade will mimic the sound of the weapon you are currently holding. For example, I'm holding an AWP sniper rifle. This grenade will mimic the sound and make it seem like there is a player shooting from a certain position.
Counter-Strike skins worth real-life money, as there is a billion-dollar market built around these game skins. This is because in order to get skin in CS2, you need to open cases using keys that cost 75 NTD. This price is real-world worth on skins because real skins such as glove and knife are rarely dropped that worth a lot of money. Here is an example of some of the skins that drop in a case, with blue being the most common one and red being the rarest one. Usually the rarer the skin is, the more expensive it is. There are also exceptionally rare skins that can drop in each case, further incentivizing players to open more cases. For example, knife in CS2 drop approximately once in 400 cases. And doing the math, that brings you about 30,000 NTD just to unbox a knife. Here is an example of the glove or knife that player might want to purchase while playing CS2. First, we have a beautiful emerald butterfly knife. This skin is highly sought after as a lot of players really like the look and the feel of the skins. Another skin, as you can see, is a hatchmate sports glove. When these two skins pairs together, it's one of the combo that many people want. However, there is a hefty price tag if you wish to purchase this skin yourself. I want you to take a guess how much this combo costs together. Now, this combo will cost you about 40,000 US dollar or 1.2 million NTD. Just to give you an idea how expensive skin can get, we will show you example of popular and famous Counter-Strike 2 skins. Starting off, we have a famous Dragon Lore AWP skins in souvenir condition. This skin is extremely rare and sought after. I want you to guess how much this skin costs. Now if you guess 590,000 US dollar, congrats, you are correct. We also have a beautiful blue AK. It's also known as a 661 Scar Pattern AK with 4 Titan Hollows attached. Now once again, please take a guess how much this beautiful skin costs. Now if you guess about 1 million US dollars, congrats, you are a genius. As you can see, some skins in CS2 are worth an astronomical amount of money, and the skin market are constantly striving as players to buy and sell their skins. Now, with skin being worth real-life money, it's important to talk about the gamble aspect behind Counter-Strike. Every time a player opens cases, they are essentially gambling. Paying money for the case for 75 NTD with the hope of getting something valuable. However, the outcome is completely random. Most of the time, the skins you unbox are worth far less than what you pay to open the case. This system is designed around excitement and risk. The animations and sound and the slow reveal all build tension very similar to slot machine. Even though the odds of getting a rare skin are extremely low, the possibility of hitting something big keep players opening more cases. What makes CS2 unique is this gambling system involves items with real-world value. Skin can be sold, traded, and even cashed out for real money. These turn virtual pixel into a real financial asset, which is why the skin economy has grown into a billion-dollar market. As CS2 continues to grow, this discussion around gambling, responsibility, and player awareness being more important than ever. Skins may look cool, but behind them is a system that can cost players far more than they expect.
Even after 2 decades, players still come back to play Counter-Strike. Counter-Strike is able to stand the test of time as players put in a lot of effort to master the game. Counter-Strike also has a large community of players to interact with, and a global and popular esports scene where pro players from all around the world compete for grand prizes. Counter-Strike 2 has a variety of teams that will compete on a professional level from all around the world. Each year, there are thousands of tournaments that players can enjoy, either locally or at the highest professional level. The highest level of professional play is held at CS2 Majors, where crowds gather in large stadiums to support their favorite teams. Crowds are famous for their wacky shenanigans and are known to be extremely passionate about the game. Each year, professionals strive to win CS2 Majors, as winning the tournament trophy brings glory to both professional players and their fans. Winning each tournament also awards teams with large prize pool money, further incentivizing players to push themselves to the limit.
Zontix has to pick his moment, find his charge, and he has struck brilliantly onto Rain. It's collapsing around them. Carrigan and Brokey, it comes down to the 1v1. It's overtime. Denied! Regulation converted! This is their major! This is their history!
Counter-Strike 2 is for all types of players, both casual and competitive, and even people who just want to watch others play, and esports fans. Although the game can be hard and the learning curve is steep for new players, Counter-Strike 2 is an extremely rewarding game where time and experience makes it feel like every improvement has been earned. I implore you to try the game for yourself and experience the CS2 community that is waiting for you. Many players such as Boating and I have been playing for almost a decade and still find the game enjoyable and rewarding enough to continue playing. Even new players such as Lionel have come to enjoy the game and have fun learning the mechanics every time he plays, as there are many things to experience in Counter-Strike 2. We are thankful to have the opportunity to present one of the main experiences that has defined our lives. Thank you.